Well, good morning, friends. It's Julie, and today I'm off to Columbus to head off to do donations and look at Laughing Ladies and Project Hope thrift store. I'm also have my writing group. That's why I'm heading down to Columbus. Anyways, it's Columbus, Montana, by the way. Somebody thought it was Columbus, Ohio. So I wanted to talk to you today about how it's been going in my eBay shop since I have decided to raise my minimum price to around $10. So let's get going and I'll tell you how that's going. All right, so in the beginning, when I first started to make the changes, it was really hard mentally for me to make the switch. It took me probably about a couple weeks before I really got into the mindset. It was so difficult at first because I was so used to seeing every card I wanted to list and have a value, and because I knew that they would sell. But I had to keep reminding myself that just because they sell doesn't mean it's for me to list. After I got into that mindset, then I started to do more listings, and not every card that I'm listing now is over $10, but they are at least over $6, I think. Sometimes I'll list like a $7 or $8 card because I know it's going to sell fast, or I really wanted to have that in my inventory. One of my neighbors going by, looks like he's hauling some cattle. Anyways, or it's probably sheep. They have sheep. Never mind. They've got like, 10,000 or more sheep. So once I got into that mindset, and it took a little bit to get traction, but I started to see sales, and I was happy to see sales come in that were higher. Of course, I have thousands of postcards that are listed that are under the price point. Most of them are. So what I did next might surprise you, and I'm going to tell you on my next step. By the way, if you didn't know, I am in Montana, and this is the Yellowstone River. This river last spring was a part of the big flooding that closed part of Yellowstone Park. If you can imagine how flooded that was. So what might surprise you is what I did next. I decided to go back through some of my listings to check and make sure they were still listed and all the pictures were right and everything, and update them a little bit. Then I sorted out in my eBay store lowest price to highest price. And I decided, there's a lot of postcards that are listed under $5. So under $4. So I decided to take them out of my shop, and it took me a while to do it. I was really surprised that there were around 2,000 listings of my 10,000 that were under $4. So after taking them out, I lotted them up, or I put a lot in my antique booth and such, and then I had about 8,000, or actually it was under 8,000 listings at that time. And I had just recently reached the point where I have worked up to 10,000 listings. Last year, when I did my 1-year review in June, which I'm going to do another one here in June, I said I'm hoping to get to 20,000 listings next year. I went backwards. But I was thinking lately, do I really need 20,000 listings? Because if the listings that I have are good listings, they're making my sales are better than they were before, then do I need more than 10,000 listings? I don't think so. I think there's still some that I can cull and take out, older listings, because I noticed that the majority of postcards that I sell are from the last few boxes that I did. The ones that I did within my first year of listings are very slow to sell. Is it really worth it to keep those all in the shop? I know I worked hard to get them all in there, and I know that that eventually they're supposed to sell. But do I keep sitting on them? So that's one of the things I'm thinking of, that maybe I don't need more than 10,000 listings. And the reason why that would be a good thing is because under 10,000 I can still have the basic eBay store, and I don't have to jump up into the next level. And also, I haven't told you this before, but a few months back, I rejoined Hip Postcard. I know there's a lot of controversy over it, and it's not like it used to be, but one of the reasons why was because I hear every once in a while about somebody's eBay store having, like, they lose stuff, or they did something and eBay stops the store from being open. And so with Hip, it automatically syncs from eBay to their site. And it's not perfect because there's a lag time in there, because at the time I had 8,500 or something. They had 7,700, so they're missing some, but they have most of it. So I thought, well, what if I just did the Hip, and then I basically use it as my backup and also make some sales. And I have made some sales. They're not a lot, but it pays for there. But if I jump up past 10,000, then the cost jumps up almost over double, I think, to the next level. And it'll take me a while to get up to get enough listings to make that really make sense. So those two reasons are reasons to not have more. And another one is space. Yeah, I do have space. I can keep making space, and I've showed you my inventory, my boxes that I got. But space is a finite thing, and I also want to have a mixture of some other things that I get in. And there's things in my booth that I think would do better online. So if I could concentrate just on the things that would go $10 or more in postcards, then I could also look at things that would go, when I look at something else that's not a postcard where I have to take a picture of it and stuff, I want it to be more than $20, because it takes more work and it takes more space. So in that case, I need a little bit more space for those things and less for postcards. So it's just kind of a toss-up. But I think that as I mentioned, I'm going to turn my car off. As I mentioned in my last What Sell video, what has helped me to have consistent sales and good sales is branching out into a few different things. Because sometimes when the postcards aren't selling, the other stuff is selling. It's still basically vintage and ephemera, but it's different kind of categories. So I think I'm going to keep doing that and have just a few, maybe a couple shelves of those things. And of course, this is all trying out, but I don't think I'm going to ever, I don't see myself going back to under $5, because think about this. It takes the same amount of time to list it. To me, it takes about the same amount of time to research it, unless it's a postcard I've seen over and over again that I know what it's going to go for. It takes the same amount of time to ship it, same expense for the Eco Swift mailer, the sleeve, the label. It's all the same price, whether the postcard's $1 or $100. So why not focus on the ones that are going to pay off better? So I really think that this model is working for me. My sales are the best that they've been. eBay keeps track of your 90-day sales, and I keep climbing higher and higher despite the economic downturn. So something's working right. So now I need to get on, because I got to get our boat license so we can bring it from Minnesota to Montana. That's another story. Catch you on the next one. Days later, I didn't get much at the thrift store because I really didn't need anything. Most of the stuff I was looking for was for my antique booth, just because I want to go towards more cottage core look, Victorian, French, whatever. So, anyways, back to the subject at hand about how things are going. So, to me, I think they're going well for now, and surprisingly doing well in a downturn, because I have been told before that collectors are going to collect no matter the economy. And I'm finding that to be true, especially collectors. There's always going to be collectors with money. And if you hit them with the right stuff, they're going to bite. And when you are dealing with higher priced postcards, more rare, more valuable, you're going to, I see them sell faster, possibly. That's what I've been noticing. So what's next for me on this journey of redoing my philosophy of selling is that I'm probably going to be going through what's behind me sometime, but I still have to continue to list. I know you can see all the mess back here right now, and yeah, it's a little chaotic because I've been moving stuff. Keep listing the good stuff is what I'm doing. Keep sourcing just the good stuff. And I have been lotting up some lots, about 500 to 1,000 lots of postcards that I'm just not going to list individually. And yeah, I'm only getting like less than a quarter for each of them, but they're gone. And the time I would have spent on listing each of them and the weight, which is what I intended to do in the first place, but I'm happy that this is going to go to somebody else. And they are still good postcards, and I did intend to list them all individually, but I'm just changing the way I'm doing it. What do you think? Do you think this is going well? What is your model that you work with? Do you have a minimum value or an average that you like to sell, or what do you like to specialize in? So let me know. Talk to you later. Have a joyful day. Goodbye.